I need you to be more specific, and then I'll answer the question wholeheartedly, because that's like an open-ended question. And that's a way to put yourself in a box when you're having a conversation like this. So you have to like say specifically the group of people, because that's like saying player one is 6'6" and went to North Carolina, and player two is 6'9" and came straight out of high school. Like in our mind, I can't definitively say what I think about those two players and their stats. If I know one is Michael Jordan, I know the other one's LeBron James. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Jimmy Dukes was popping. I'm gonna drop it, Marty. What's the move for the night, man? I got Coach Vrabel's press conference. We hired Charles London, the quarterback coach from the Falcons, who was with Arthur Smith, who was our old OC, who's the head coach of the Falcons. We hired him as a QB coach. We move our QB coach, who we wanted to hire in front of Todd Downing, Tim Kelly, as the OC. So they're hiring within, so to speak. Then they hire like a couple more people. So it's like they're starting to fill out the coaching staff. And this will tell us what we're going to do in the draft, because if you projecting forward, if your old quarterbacks coach who's familiar with every quarterback on the roster, they're probably not making a move at QB. Probably going to make moves at offensive line, defense, and skill position, if that makes sense. 789 days. But yeah, give it to me specifically, Sean, and then I'll roll, because I need to know what your aim is in me answering that question. Because I slightly answered it, but I'm not going to go all the way in. Like, that's the reason why I'm undefeated. I don't just jump into stuff without getting all the information. Because like I'm not going to blindly speak on the situation. I'm going to need you to come like all the way out with it, what you're trying to say, and then I can give you an answer. We're going to do some shop talk, lock kick, then we're going to get into some gameplay, how I always do. Jalen P, what up? 321 days. We getting close to it, he said. So given the American context, because in other regions like non-minority groups and minority groups are different. So within our context, could a minority group be considered racist towards a white person? Now, in the first one you put oppressive. Now look, everybody has like some racist tendencies. Like that's just natural, right? So having pride in your own like ethnic background. Like I have this saying, because I have Chinese people in my family circle. So it's like this is saying that the Chinese always gonna do what the Chinese do. Like that's what they do. Like they're going to do their thing, like based on their history. Now some people may see that and say, man, like that's racist, but not really. It's just saying like, yo, the Chinese is gonna make sure the Chinese do what they're gonna do. If you go to my Israeli friends, they have town hall. You know what kosher is. If it ain't kosher, they're not fucking with it. They don't necessarily mean that it's racist. It just, if it ain't kosher and they ain't all signed off on it, they're not rocking with it. Right? So we following this trend of, if it's Hispanic people, it's a lot heavy population of Hispanic in my area, bro, they gonna reach to themselves first. To say that a black person could be racist against a white person in America, it's gonna be ignorance, like whether it's black, white, green, alien, Chinese, like it doesn't matter. Like a person could be like, a person could like not like another group or based on whatever their experiences is, right? But when we talk about this country, the stuff that people mostly talking about is a system of supremacy, and it's documented and it's here. It's in the Constitution. It's in the law books. It's in everything we do. I'm not gonna sit here and sign off on it and say like it isn't a thing, because it is a thing. Because like I told you last night, I had hung out with a black person that had never hung around a white person, and a white person that had never hung around a black person in their entire life, and we all got together and hang out. Like I let him pick his drink, and he picked his drink. He picked him Hennessy. He picked him like some vodka, some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but eating that goes is like the key factor being on a scale of saying like, how much can one thing affect another person? So that's the whole point behind it, is like, Can one single person be racist? Of course. And that's not like just because another white person is racist don't mean Sean have to be. Just because another black person could be racist don't mean that Buddha have to be. But that don't change the experiences that we had and the way things are. So I think that's where you'll get caught up if you're trying to like pull the reverse racism part on a black person, really the dog ain't never gonna hunt. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like systematically a black person not gonna be able to stop this said ethnicity group of person from they ability to have life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. You see what I'm saying? Like when it comes to that, then that's where we get into this conversation. So it's like anybody can be racist. But where you start to run into the problem is like, here's a single person, and then like, here's the system that goes along with it. And here's the, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you instantly get into. And it's like, I mean, we could go down that rabbit hole for years and never see the bottom of it. Mo, Gabby, Paul, Royal Raj, Bobby, Drake, Yuichi the Stick of God, William Fernandez, like EP, Jalen, Michael Phillips, what up? He said the one hallmark has to be a position of oppression in one group. And that's why I said in the first one. But I mean, then again, that's why I said like I want you to be specific, because if we're talking about one singular person and we're talking about a group of people, it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's like that'll be a never ending story. Yo, Justin B, Thomas John, what up? Yo, Michael Phillips, what up? But see, this is the thing though, Kyle, like something that I learned. That's why I use that word specifically. I use ignorance when I said it's a big difference between somebody just being ignorant and somebody being racist. And I brought up the Emancipation movie with Will Smith yesterday so you could see exactly what I meant by person being ignorant. The person that was hunting the slaves was like, nah, like you think the slave is not a man or subhuman or dumb, or he's like, nah, they really smart. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the person that's like doing the most oppression in the movie understands that the slave can read, can write, can understand things, and in most often cases is smarter than the people he working with, even under the given set of circumstances that they're in, right? So when you put it like that, it's a fine line between like racist and ignorance, and most of it is a person just not knowing no better. You see what I'm saying? Like, just imagine it was a point in time, like we're not talking about 1,000 years ago. We talking about 100 years ago, 150 years ago. Literally, it's legal to own me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm 3/5 of a man. I'm cattle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a obtainable piece of property legally. And a person that's brought up under that system would have been ignorant to the fact that like I could read, I can write. It may be illegal for me to read and write. I might get hung. I might get killed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't hold church unless somebody that's Caucasian is in my presence. Like, that was the law. You see what I'm saying? Like, at one point in time, the people who were sitting there going with it were just ignorant to the fact of the people that's running the show know exactly who and what they're dealing with. Just the person out that's dealing with it day to day has no clue. You see what I'm saying? Like, they don't even know what they're dealing with. So you're talking about people that's, you know what I'm saying, like, not the sharpest tool in the shed, being taught to operate a certain way. And you still see that today in so many ways of like, a person that's not that bright is not going to understand how stuff works. You know what I'm saying? They're going to understand on a small level. So it's like a big part of that racism is like a big portion of people just being ignorant. Like, that's history though. Yo, Joel, Michael Singleton, Thomas John, what up? Because I would say, like, the first thing I would say is like, no matter what race you are, it's like, I made it my business to like understand other people's perspective. That's a big part of LIP and Vibe Nation. That's why we do it. is if I brought you in some food from another culture, first thing you're gonna do is do that. You know what I'm saying? Like you probably went up, like look at it funny or something, but that's like what that may be like the main food from that country or main export or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like you hear them talk, first thing you're gonna do is like snicker and laugh. Then you be like, okay, that's their culture, that's their language. You see what I'm saying? And you start to put it together. Like a person only would laugh at somebody else's cultures because they don't understand it. They have no clue what they're dealing with. So the first thing you do is laugh and it's stupid. No, that person that you think is like, you laugh and say something about them being Chinese or Hispanic or something. They already speak 2-3 languages. They can count money in 2 different languages. They got a passport. They done been a whole lot further in the world than you have. So at that instance, like you're ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't necessarily like make you racist. You see what I'm saying? Like you could just be ignorant to what you're dealing with. And that can go for anybody. Like there's no color on that. Your rival, what up? He said A to Z Nashville Sports is live. I'm live too. He said can't believe the Niners with us Steve Wilkes. Yo, Joel P, what up? Yeah, and that rabbit hole is deep, Kyle. Yeah, see the thing, the whole gist of it is like how deep we could get into that situation is like when you just really think about it and like where we are right now in this country, the country is like always gonna be like, so to speak, at a handicap because of how the beginning of it, you know what I'm saying? Like at some point, like wrongs have to be righted. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's only going to be righted through a change in constitution, but that hasn't happened. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like I try to like carry myself and deal with myself as who I am. I know who I am. So like, I don't have to walk around with that chip on my shoulder no more. I still deal with it from time to time, but my job is like for it to be better for my kids and not to have to deal with it less and less. You see what I'm saying? Like that's my number one aim because I know how to deal with it, but I don't want my kids dealing with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the way I think. You know what I'm saying? I know my granddaddy thought the same way, and my daddy thought the same way, and now I'm thinking the same way. It's like I'm just trying to make a better situation for my kids. Like some stuff just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the reality of it. Your guru start popping them. Gas, what up? Justin C. What's the vibe? But that's the answer. Sean's question is, in this country, it's gonna be very hard for a person to push any kind of reverse racism just because of how stuff is. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know what I'm saying, just in a capsule. And I'll be very careful when I say this. Like, you have Germany, and you have what happened in World War II, and you have the survivors from that. Them people are not finna walk around and have to deal with people flying them flags from the right. I'm in Alabama. You go to the courthouse, downtown, 20th Street, Richard Arrington, you run dead into the courthouse. It's literally etched into the walls of the courthouse. Going up the steps is literally swastikas etched into the courthouse steps. A lot of courthouses you go in, you still see Confederate flags and shit. You see what I'm saying? Like every now and then in Alabama, you'll see like some police department get knocked. A big section of their police was, you know what I'm saying? KKK. You know what I'm saying? Like that stuff is still here. People never gonna let that die. Or just that like that real deep hatred. People are not gonna really ever let that go. But at the same time, like I don't live my life in fear or worrying about that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't. That's why like in my chat, y'all see I don't never let y'all really talk religion or politics because I know it's a big divisive tool and people are just starting to slice shit down the middle and we all be separated. But sports, music, entertainment, usually a way to get everybody together and see the similarities in each other rather than the differences. So like that's kind of what I push out there. You see what I'm saying? I can't push that out there. You see I'm Japanese to the end. I'm a Derek, hey, what up? So amazing. Appreciate the raid. What's the vibes? Brando, Kenneth, Dre. So like that's the answer to that question. But Sean said he had 2 questions though. Anybody else got anything they want to talk about before we get into Tennessee Titans hiring offensive coordinator from within, quarterbacks game prep coach Tim Kelly, who they wanted to be the OC before Todd Downing, is now OC of the Tennessee Titans. He said my second one was, have you experienced colorism in your life, or is that not really at all common? And it says stuff. Colorism, yeah, for sure. I mean, of all types. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna say this. Almost any type of racism you could think of, I done dealt with it. That's why, like, when it comes to having conversations with people, like certain people, if they're not in, I don't want to sound disrespectful. Certain people are not intelligent to what I'm talking about. I don't want to have the conversation. It's like, I know they're going to be hanging on to like the basic shit. Like people have done to me before. Like you take 5 seconds of my conversation and I catch the whole, you just be stuck on the one thing I said and I just catch, like I shot 100 shots and you only caught the one. You hanging on to that one because you think that one is so important, but it's not. Like I really painted the whole picture for you. He's in Montgomery. I went to child support with my sister the other day and seeing Confederate fight. Yeah, for sure. It's not gonna go away. Yo, Brando, Jamar, Slippery Kai, Waddell, Sauce. I mean, like colorism is gonna be a thing any and everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's sad, but it's a true thing. You know what I'm saying? Die hard Colts fans realize I got Brady, Gronk, and Edelman on your team. You a Patriot fan, Paul. You ain't even a coach. I heard about colorism. So I had Jamaican friends like caste system. If you aren't right shade, I mean, like if you go to my wife is from East Africa. Like if you go to a country, they say like if you got curly hair, they'll just flat out call you something. You know what I'm saying? Like not in a negative way. It's like, oh, that's, you know what I'm saying? It's like that's more of a definition. Here, like you might hear me say, oh, he on that light skin shit. You see what I'm saying? Like that's colorism, but it's like we found ways to like make light of shit. You know what I'm saying? But see, people don't know NAACP was really started to keep dark skinned black people and light skinned black people from pitting against one another. You know what I'm saying? Because that's literally what it was built on. It was built on making dark and the fair skin, because like you got some people that's like Creole or from certain parts of the country and they call them like passe, like they can pass for being white. You know what I'm saying? Like, but then they're gonna never be white. Then they're not gonna ever feel like they're black enough. You know what I'm saying? So we talked about that one time with on Let's Talk About It podcast. Coach Clay was on. Shout out to Coach Clay, part of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like we've had those conversations of, because we in a different type of world where it's like I don't even want to go there because it's Super Bowl. Delton, Daniel Hall, what up? What's the vibes? He said Falcons lose quarterback. Yeah, we got but you know Arthur Smith was our offensive coordinator in Tennessee before Downing when he left to go coach the Falcons. So you see a lot of interchange between Tennessee and Atlanta. You see a lot of that of people that the coaches are familiar with, players and coaches. You see that. Anything else, man? Like I said, I don't duck. I really be here for the community to have real conversations. That's why when I talk like this, when goofy shit be like thrown my way, I don't even address it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not fancy and go back and forth with nobody else. Sean Payton makes a difference. Yeah. Rontez, go back to the first game. Denver paid $250 million to get Russell Wilson and traded half their team to get him. Game 1, 4th down and 4, they try to kick like an 80-yard field goal instead of letting your $250 million quarterback you just brought in that's mobile and a Super Bowl champion to give him a moving pocket to try to pick up 4 yards to get a closer shot at a kick or to try to go on and score. And it wind up costing them. Like, when you coach to lose, like, you'll never win. Sean Payton know what he's doing. He'll assemble the roster and get the best out of Russell Wilson for the rest of his career if he's there in Denver. Delton Daniel Hall keeps Thomas tighten up. He said Russell's personal coach is banned from all team facilities. Yeah, TGG Meeks in the building. What's good? Anything y'all want to talk about, I'm here. I'm an open book, and I have a conversation with y'all about anything. All right, so while y'all figuring out what y'all want to talk about, let's hear why Mike Vrabel decided to hire within and not go for offensive coordinator outside of the Tennessee, Nashville.
Spent a lot of time going through multiple candidates at each position. Met some amazing people, had conversations with some amazing people and coaches. Learned a lot throughout this process to get here. And really excited about where this is going to go. Excited about where this is going to go with my relationship with Rand, the relationship with our coaching staff and the personnel department. So this is it's a cool time to be able to discuss those
men
and women on our staff and help you kind of figure out who they are.
I'm gonna tell you, I really feel like
Teresa
getting Tim Kelly. Vrabel's tied to Kelly. If Kelly don't fix that offense, Vrabel gonna go right along with Kelly.
With the Zoom, Teresa.
That's what I think. I think Vrabel, if Kelly fail at OC,
you there?
Vrabel goes with him. Thrive, what up?
I see her.
No glamour shot.
Okay, Jim Watt.
Okay, Mike, if you could maybe
Rontez, that's why I say 99% cap, 1% gameplay, 100% vibes, because
Tim Kelly
I'm really here for the conversation and for y'all. Like, the game is just on in the background.
Yeah, I think it's the right fit for us at this time. It's the perfect fit. Met with some really good candidates. One that
Mike Vrabel voice is kind of low.
Our staff to help assist and support Tim and our offense and coach our quarterbacks and our passing game coordinator. But I think what Tim ultimately was able to do was be able to provide some familiarity and some carryover.
He definitely wasn't mediocre as a coach or a player.
I don't believe that. But then also be able to.
He was coach of the year last year.
Some things that can really help us and take advantage of some opportunities. I've seen him, call games in this league against us. Felt like he has a great feel for the game. Going back to even last year, playing with a rookie quarterback and not having much success against us at their place, being able to shift gears and get into empty almost exclusively and, give them a chance to get back in that football game. And, we were able to win. But, I think his feel, his energy, his leadership, all things that came out throughout this process of multiple meetings with him and other candidates.
Terry?
Should have went in person.
Teron.
I heard they wasn't able to hire him.
My question is in regards to the collaboration.
I heard they wasn't
side of
able
things.
to.
Like, how do you see everything working as far as Charles London as pass game coordinator with Pat O'Hara in his role, as well as Tim Kelly and
You
your
said coach of the year based on
addition
what?
as well.
Having the number 1 seed in the AFC
Well, I mean, I think
with
all
no
that
Julio,
is,
no AJ, and no Derrick Henry.
You know, we have to work
If
through
you
those
can
types
get
of things.
number
I think
1
that,
seed in the AFC last
the
year
one thing that I really appreciate
with no Derrick Henry, no Julio, and no AJ,
been with Tim and then gone and done some stuff.
you had to be coaching, bro. Like I don't know what to tell you other than that.
From Chicago,
I mean,
his time in Chicago,
you take AJ Brown, Julio Jones, and Derrick Henry off of offense, and you still manage to have the number 1 seed in the AFC. Like you and I, bro, we beat the Niners last year. We beat the Chiefs last year. We beat the Bills last year. We beat every team that was good last year. With nothing.
Think that's an assist role, and that's providing ideas and support, and
that's what I heard. I heard today the Texans didn't want us to get him.
Weekly game plan, and
even though they knew that they was tanking.
Spring and what we want to do, and how we want to install things, and maybe how we change the terminology, because I think that's also important. I think some of this stuff is going to be consistent, but there will be a lot that will force us all to
Jason, you ain't gonna win this
grow.
And Jeremiah, what up, Kashif?
That's probably an important time.
I mean, he almost won the South for a third straight year this year.
The runs
with
a
quarterback
plays,
in the final game.
How we're calling things, how we're teaching things.
You have two quarterbacks on the roster that Derrick Henry has more career passing touchdowns in the last 6 years. That should tell you something.
And Charles,
he have them ready to play.
In my input as well.
Let's try Terry again.
Mike, can you talk a little bit about, I guess, the thought of, the hiring Tim in-house versus maybe hiring an offensive coordinator from the outside who might bring in different ideas and a different system?
Well, I'm confident that there will be new ideas, new, concepts. Again, there's a lot of things that you can invest your time with, and we're fairly certain that where we've invested a lot of our time is been in one particular system. I know that'll change in the spring. I think this will be a great time to figure out how much you want to invest in some of these other schemes and these ideas. You have every offense and every defense, everybody has to have an identity, which is critical, things that you're going to be able to do and then have plays off of it. So, in my interactions and my meetings with Tim, I'm very comfortable that there'll be, continue to do the things that we do well, the things that we feel like we do well, that we want to continue and enhance, and then, bring in new ideas that he has, that Charles has, or even other guys on our staff.
I've got Teresa's question here. What do you like about Lori and what she can bring to the defense?
Well, I thought her knowledge was excellent. I enjoyed our meetings that we were able to have at the Senior Bowl. She's done it. She's done it. She's got experience in this league, and excited to be able to bring on somebody that's worked with a lot of great players and been around great defenses in Tampa. So that and I know that she'll primarily start out working with the outside linebackers. I think that her and Ryan Crow will make a great team, and he'll help her as she transitions to working with the outside linebackers.
Corey?
Yo, D Brown, what up?
Sorry, Coach. Buck.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike. With the coordinator hires, I mean, with as often as you guys have gone internal, how important is institutional knowledge for you when it comes to these kind of things?
Well, the whole idea, is what I know and what I believe in, and it's more importantly what I believe in. And if I didn't think that we had the right people here, we would try to go and get somebody else. I think we hire really good people. I mean, you see that from other opportunities that we've had in the 5 years that we've been here, putting together a great staff.
Latrell, what up? ALG, what up?
Teach, develop, and inspire our players through making a connection with them. and you could see that. I have to identify men and women that I think can continue to grow, have upward mobility, and if they, fit what I'm looking for, and they are the right person for the job, well then, I'll do my best to, put them in those positions.
Let's try Corey again. Or not. Paul Carthy.
Thanks. Hey, Mike.
They should have did it in the middle of the season last year, though, D-Brian.
What Tim's role was as passing game coordinator last year? The times we were out there, we saw him during individual, often with the tight ends only. And we'd like to know, I think, a bit more about what he did when we weren't there.
Yeah, I mean, I had asked him to, I don't want him standing there holding a clipboard, charting passes. So, I asked him to focus and assist with the tight ends at practice, or an individual, be an extra set of hands. I like everybody that's out there to be working, doing something to help the football team or the players. Yeah, and then there were, his outside of the time of practice, it was, a lot of.
I think Vrabel had a lot to say.
Preparation in advance, and I think he would come in.
I think Vrabel had a lot to say.
Todd, and be able to meet with me and say, hey, here's what, this is what we can expect. He was able to work ahead. He wasn't focusing on, necessarily calling the game. I think he was helped put together the first and second down passing game, and would communicate with Todd, look through the third down, present that, and then ultimately, we go in with a game plan, and then, it has to get executed, and it has to, and somebody's got to call it. So, it wasn't like when it was a pass, it was Tim's responsibility. Tim was here to support the offense and to provide, working knowledge of the defense, and to be able to help with the first and second down installation, third down, and then worked with Todd as well as myself in the red zone.
Joe Rexrode.
So following up on that, Mike, so with Charles then, would that part of his job be the same in addition to coaching quarterbacks, or is it a totally different role that's primarily focused on quarterbacks?
Well, I mean, it's going to, he won't be able to probably do as much going forward, Joe, with the responsibility of the quarterbacks. I see him, bringing the ideas that he had, and when we met, and communicating and helping us.
Yeah, that's the one thing that people kind of look at.
And then ultimately,
he said 57 sacks over 14 years.
Helping Tim as we go through training camp, and then
who blitzes middle linebackers the whole game.
So, there's one person has to make sure that they're leading the offense, and that'll be Tim. But making sure that everybody's
Big Jeff said at the Pro Bowl that he met with Rand. He said he feels very confident that
sound football
that they're gonna get something done.
Steve Blakeman.
Yeah, I mean the whole defense falls apart if Big
Mike,
Jeff is not retired.
Two quick ones within one here. Number one, everybody's
Brown, we gotta have somebody to
how
actually
much the
catch it and
offense
run
should or
after the
should not
catch.
change. How much would you like to see the offense change from
What
what it
up,
was with this new cast and crew? And you're shuffling a lot of pieces there on offense. Is there a value to having sort of fresh eyes and new spots as they take on these new roles?
I'd like our offense to be, there's things that I believe in. I think that, you have to be able to be efficient throwing the football, and we weren't as efficient as we needed to be. We turned it over too many times. I think you have to take care of the football. I think you have to, play with a physical style, whether that's throwing the football and you got guys that are cleaning out the pocket. I believe in mixing tempos, having the ability to play with different personnel groups and really finding out what we have available, what we're able to add to the roster, and being creative with who we have. and not just having guys that are in there when we throw the football or having guys in there when we run the football. I think looking for speed, looking for versatility. Those are things that I've talked to Rand about, and him and I will continue to have conversations about that, is making sure that we're doing our best to hire versatile coaches and players that can, have an element of speed and playmaking ability, but also some versatility. So I hope that I know that we have the flexibility that when we complete this roster, we'll be able to go in a bunch of different directions from different personnel groups and getting in the same formations and doing ultimately what our players do best and what they can handle.
Nick,
obviously you mentioned just some moving pieces around. I mean, some of these, I don't know what you meant specifically. You can ask the second question that you had, Steve. Sorry.
Yeah, just to have Pat in a little different role and moving Tony from running backs to tight ends, etc.
Working on offline content.
Does it help to have a guy in a new role and coach maybe slightly differently or bring new eyes to a situation? Is that kind of the idea behind those moving pieces?
Yeah, I think I'm just what the thought process was there was that looking for people to be able to have some growth opportunities when I recognized it, and being able to excel at certain different roles and help the football team where I think is best, and I think that where we're at right now is gonna do that.
Nick.
Hey, Mike, you brought up Rand a couple of times there. Just how much were you able to lean on him throughout this search process, and just how have the first couple of weeks of collaboration between the two of y'all gone?
Well, since I've been here, I think that there's, as I work through the coaching staff, I've floated some ideas through them, and we've had conversations. We talk extensively. So it was really great to get down to the Senior Bowl. It was really cool to get down there and work through the interview process and have him and I both be a part of that and talk with all those prospects, watch practice together, share comments and a vision for what we want to do with the football team. And that'll continue with his staff and the coaching staff as we look at free agents and then on into the draft.
Chris Harris.
Hey, Mike, I'm curious. You mentioned about Charles and talking to him for the OC job. What was it about him that made you wanted him to be a part of the organization?
Zariah,
of
my
your
bad.
team,
I still be saying this sometimes. Zariah.
Well, I really just enjoyed the interview. Really did. I think going down to the Senior Bowl and watching his demeanor and his presence on the field and his interactions. With those players down there.
Right, D. Brown.
Was really somebody that I wanted to,
David Douglas.
Try to be a part of our staff.
Can we let this variable conversation go, though? That's going to make my head
hurt. Gentry?
Yeah, Mike, with Tim already on staff last season, did you consider expanding his role in this way previously, either before the season, during it at some point? And a couple of years ago, did you make an attempt to kind of reach out and talk to him for that then?
Right about that. Look at the face.
Well,
you better lie.
There's, I have to make decisions, Gentry, and I don't know if, during the season, anything.
Right about to lie now.
I really don't. And I think that what I'm focused on is where we go, from here, where we're able to grow.
Right about to lie. You want to talk about
find a way to protect our quarterback. Find a way.
Mike, bro. I don't know.
Have less non-efficient plays and runs, and be able to convert third downs, score touchdowns, get to the red zone more often. I stand behind what we do in the red zone. We just got to get down there more often. And so I've met with Tim.
D4, what up?
He was under contract in Houston, so. When we were able to add him.
Hey, there it is. It's confirmed. Houston wouldn't let him go. Man, the Texans, dog.
Jared,
the Texans.
Hey, Mike, what does today's news mean for Ryan?
Laz, what up?
Well, I don't think anything. I mean, I talked to Ryan. I let him know which direction that we were headed. He's I don't want to speak for him. He seemed excited, about what we were going to do and about who we were doing it with. But again, Rand and I are evaluating the entire roster.
You could tell with Mike Vrabel
contract, players that are going to be potential free agents here pretty soon. So Ryan's in here every day.
That boy Vrabel is not going to give up the tee. He learned that from
excited
Belichick.
about where things are headed. So,
yeah, Josh thinks
other than
good,
that,
man.
I don't know what
complain.
to tell you other than being able to say, we've got to get ready here to add a lot of pieces and find ways to do that.
Teron?
I was going to ask that question about Tannehill, but I'll shift it back to Tim Kelly. You mentioned how you feel not everything was broken and you want some of the carryover. What are some of the things that make you feel that things can be different with Tim Kelly as the play caller?
What are things that I think can be different, or
right? Like how do you feel he can do the job differently? Like what gives you the confidence that he can come in and have this offense function the way that you want it to?
Well, man, we go through an extensive interview process, hear how he would do things, hear what he liked, hear what he would like to change going forward. His history as a play caller, his history working with different schemes, like I said, in Houston.
Man, D Brown, too nice.
Have a great
because you know how the safety is going to line up when somebody play the Titans, bro. They're going to be within 10 yards.
Charles and the rest of our offensive staff, bring in some energy, and taking the guys that are going to be here, especially some of these young guys that really started to come on and build a system for them and help them learn.
That's why I heard that Racey McMath and Traylon Burks was hurt like a big portion of the year.
That's the most important thing.
Really didn't have nobody to stretch the field.
Sam?
But then J-Rob got to go out and get somebody that win got him.
You mentioned thinking that moving Tim's role earlier into the season wouldn't have mattered much. I'm just curious if you could elaborate on that and
spicy question.
Why you felt like shifting his responsibilities doesn't help you moving forward or with the current move.
Yeah, I think really, Sam, and I appreciate everybody's question, and I appreciate the
he tired of this question.
The fact that you guys would show up here to cover this and support our staff. My focus is solely on this football team moving forward. The staff.
Mike ain't about to answer that.
People that are here, working with Rand and his staff, communicating with our players, finding which ones we're going to bring back.
Mike said, "Don't ask me about Todd Down and no more."
Who we're going to add and putting together a great.
He's so funny, bro.
Scheme and playbook and how we want to install and how we can make it player friendly and ideas on teaching. Not about where we were in October or the state of the team in December and what we went through then.
Just a couple more. Jim?
And Mike, you mentioned your staff's 95% complete. Are you down to just running backs coach, and maybe where are you in that process?
Well, that's still ongoing. There's a few individuals that are interviewing for other jobs that I've talked to, and we'll kind of see where that goes, and try to find the best person that can help us in that position.
Joe Rexford?
OG Drip, what up?
Moving on from Keith, Mike, and then promoting Jason. What is that comment on the offensive line coaching, and why did you make that move?
Why did I promote Jason?
Well, both moves, moving on from Keith.
I'm not going to touch on the people that aren't here. Appreciate what they did. You realize that just as the same that we want to develop players. Part of our challenge is developing players and understanding that who they are when they get here isn't necessarily what their finished product is. And we don't care how you get here. We just care what you do when you're here. And I think Jason is a great example of that. Fulfilled a role and was able to build a strong connection with the players. He's a great teacher. He's worked in multiple schemes. He was a head coach. It was probably one of the best interviews that I've had in 5 years, and interviewing different coaches. And so I'm extremely happy and excited to be able to give him this opportunity. I know that Sully will support him as well as we move forward with that group and that unit that has to get better. And it starts by finding some guys that
Pebbles with it,
come in and develop and be coached.
Last two, Paul.
Two-pronged, if I may, Mike. The analyst titles for Luke and Pat, does that signal anything of a new direction or approach for how you're looking at things?
Well, just continuing to try to, want these guys to be a part of our offense, and not having a position group per se is going to allow them to, do some of that pre-advanced work. But also help and assist throughout our offense. And those guys have been here since I got here. And so I want them to be able to help us in a multiple ways, and confident that they'll be able to do that.
Understand what you said about having good people in-house at the start, but it seems like more than a coincidence that when you do go outside for Tim or for Charles, that they're guys that you've worked with before. And it can seem rather insular that you're reluctant to bring in somebody that you're not connected to. You have an affinity, as most people do, for people you're familiar with?
Well, I mean, I've enjoyed all the interviews that we've had, and I know, I think that's important. I don't think that's certainly the barometer in which we make decisions. I don't want to do that. I think that's we've had numerous coaches here that I've been able to work with. I think as a head coach, I come up with a bunch of ideas. Hey, we should do this, or hey, we should do that. And I'm confident that the coaches that we have here have and will continue to tell me, that's too much. That's not going to work. That's too much for the players, or, hey, that's a great idea. And I do think that's important, whether that I knew them previously or they came in here, from somewhere else. And you try to empower everyone to, hire great people and empower them to do their job, and be able to say, coach, that's not what's best for the players. So, I think we have a great staff. I think we have great teachers. We have to continue to develop and, evaluate and bring in, great people, and then see where the talent level takes us, and be able to make decisions on what we want to do schematically in offense and defense and special teams.
Steve Lehman, last one.
What, Brando?
Mike, I think the one guy we hadn't mentioned through this whole thing
Lamar,
was Chris Harris
Troy?
on defense. How excited are you that was able to work itself out, and what he might be able to do in the defensive pass game coordinator role to assist Shane?
Continue to, Chris did a fantastic job. So did Scott Booker, and Scott made it a difficult decision, and I really respected his growth and his confidence as he's continued to grow, and he'll continue to coach our safety, which he's done a fantastic job at.
Cool.
We were excited to be able to add Chris. I mean, you see, he's had a lot of interest from other places, and we'll support him. As he goes down to that road and his ultimate goals. But I loved his demeanor. I loved his ability to teach, and we'll add some ideas and help us, in what we've already done, and figure out what's too much, and making some suggestions or tweaks to
Brandon,
stuff that we already do.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate the time.
Thanks a lot, Mike. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.
Ever want nobody to feel like their opinion is lessened or doesn't matter or is not valued. But I'm probably gonna run some games. Yeah, they wasn't ducking the smoke. I could tell he was getting irritated. I'm gonna run some games because I don't want to get to where like I just don't play Madden and I just like lose a grip of the game. Like I still enjoy playing Madden. I just enjoy like the 007 walkthroughs. I'm gonna enjoy playing GTA old GTA walkthroughs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna enjoy just content. Like you see, I'm putting out the reels, 2-3 reels today. Kyrie Irving. If y'all haven't seen that one, go check out the Kyrie Irving. Had the other one about how soon do you move on to boot out the dark. Yo, Kyler, what up? So if y'all see those reels, make sure y'all comment on it. Don't be afraid. If it's for people to see what you think about certain stuff, like, comment, share. Those reels do a lot for the content, and it allow like that offline content when it's working, it allows the space to be able to be creative and to just do more than just sit here and play Madden, bro. If I don't mind. I'm saying if he was right, I was gonna give him his sauce. But Ohio State, 12 sacks as a sophomore, 13 as a junior, 9 as a senior, first team All-American, Big Ten Defensive of the Year, 95 and 96, becoming the first of 2 players to ever win the award twice. Drafted as a player, 3-time Super Bowl champion, first team All-Pro, Pro Bowler. NFL Coach of the Year. I mean, listen, I don't know Fonzo, Todd, Sebastian, what up? Open the gates ahead. It ain't toxic because I don't even see it. I ain't in it. Yo, D Brown, I was just kind of letting it go for engagement. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, as long as I'm having fun. And I think one thing that I learned is if I mix in my offline content with what we just did, which was like show Mike Vrabel's press conference, people want to hear what I think about the Titans offseason moves, or just NBA, NFL, Kyrie, or whatever. Like those are the things that's gonna make it where like I'm not burnt out on Madden because I got other stuff going on. I think when people get to where like all you got is Madden, you know what I'm saying? That's when it becomes a problem, because like, you know, like you said, Meeks, it's like when people is like, you know, bragging about being good at Madden at this time of year. We know we know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? Like this ain't the time that, because most people that create content is like gonna go into a shell, because like Madden's gonna be very, very mundane and boring. This year they sped up the process, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like they kind of purposely burnt it like this. He said, "Well, no. Yo, that's bucket list, yo, Tom. If Shotbybuddha got the interview, Coach Vrabel after he made a big hire, that would be like bucket list for my life." Niquasia, what up? That's like bucket list for my life, dog. Like, are you serious? Like, I get to talk to the Tennessee Titans head coach? Jeez. Oh, this dude is in the gas. Okay, I got you. Let's do this thing in the gas. I can't be Henry Leverett right now. I gotta pack this thing in and block the blitz. Can't send 5 out. I gotta block the blitz. We can't send all them routes out. He's sending the dogs like that. You know what I'm saying? Yo, but Tom, bro, I appreciate just the fact that you even thought that was possible, that Shotbybuddha could be interviewing Mike Vrabel. Oh my God, Mike Battle 256. And question, what up? Like, that would be too crazy, right? Bro, he got tackle supreme on that guy or something? Jeez. Yo, what did I do? Does he got tackle supreme on that guy or something? Because he just hit a X Factor Derrick Henry and he went straight down. He said, "What is my record in rank?" Robert, I stopped playing and keeping up with a record in rank in Madden 21. There's only one record that matters is Dez is number 1 in the world. I don't even play. I ain't even really actually grinded head to head in 2 years. Because it don't give you nothing. See, this year, like if you play MUT, this year they made the comp pass. So the comp pass, like, you only max out by playing so many head to head. You only max out by playing so many weekend leagues. You only max out by playing. So like, it's almost counterproductive to sit and play a lot of head to head. If that makes sense. Punt the ball on for it. We're not punting. The punt. Hey, we got the all-time record holding punter for season. The punter is at home. He's not kicking. Like, it had to be something very crazy for me to punt. Beat the mission with the girl. Hell no. I ain't gonna lie, man. That mission was kicking my ass, but I got off. Oh, catch that. Yo, Nevin, what up? Major League Play Weekend League this year. For sure. Cam, I just did enough to get the comp pass. He said, bro, you know, some of them know who you are. They probably do, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, who's gonna, like, SWAT team? Shout out to Ambell Jr. Jeffrey Bird, TTV Zone Out TV in the building. What up? But I will say this though, Robert, like, you know, we just had a mud tournament for my community. I did make it to the Final Four, you know what I'm saying? So Yo, how does he just run over my X Factor on the history? That's crazy. No, sir. He said 99% of Bond, period. Bond don't move without a woman. He trying to tell y'all something. Let me show y'all something about 007. 007, he always find him a woman to help him out. He don't go getting a bunch of homeboys and dress like his homeboys or none of that. GoldenEye, 007, James Bond, smoothest man in the world. Always go get some woman to help him out. You know what I'm saying? 8 matchups for Boston. Boss Bot Wars 8. I said, oh, that's tough. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's tough, bro. You know what I mean? Like, that's very tough. Because, you know, this one thing I always wondered, like, why is it that y'all think that W basically hosts something on Twitch that's like, it's like what Obituary is to Facebook, yet they haven't yet brought him in on the EA stage to be part of that commentary team with him being a former champion. You see what I'm saying? Like, why do y'all think that is? Like, that's an honest statement that I have is, I wonder why they have never made W part of the broadcast team as of late, with him having such a big voice and reach on Twitch. That's an honest question, though. That's an honest question. Anybody got any thoughts about that or wonders the answer to that question? I don't know how you feel about it, Craig. Let me hear it, man. Let me hear what you think, bro. I still feel like I stand on they should have had him come in when Todd Downing got that DUI. I still feel like that. I'm standing on they should have made him. And then you seen when they asked in the press conference that Rabel didn't want to answer that question. He's like, I'm only here to focus on the team that's here. Basically saying, like, I'm not going to admit or say what everybody was thinking that was the situation. Oh my God, bro. He said, why did it leave? Anything about it? About what, Coop? Probably didn't want him shitting on the game. I watched some of his streams and he's honest about the gameplay. But I mean, I still don't think that's like you know what I'm saying? Like that can't be all of it, you know what I mean? They want to see how Sean Payton and Russell Wilson work out? Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see next year. They're just in a tough division, though. He an older dude and not much flag as user, Davis and Cliff. But I mean, like, Mazesko, like, don't have it. Like, RG never had it. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, T. Davis is not, that's not necessarily swag. He just wear makeup, you know what I'm saying?
YouTube Music is a music app made by YouTube. And it's your key to over 80 million official
Oh, when the Titans OC got the DUI. Why the league didn't do it? That was kind of weird because it's like they fired the general manager, not the coach who got the DUI. You know what I'm saying? To me, that was weird. They fired the person like it was so weird. But I was just like, how does that work? You know what I'm saying? Like you fired the general manager, but not maybe Amy got rid of him because she felt like he could have done more. I don't know. He said Mozesto like the voice of Commando. He is. And I admitted it. You know what I'm saying? Me and Gaddafi was like, yo, he really, at first, you know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't necessarily, like, he didn't come off as well in the beginning. But, you know, like, Mozesto wound up, like, becoming, like, I like Mozesto. Like, he fired back. He don't just, like, go down, you know what I'm saying? Like he don't necessarily lay down, if that's the right word for it. Like he gonna crack his jokes, he gonna say his stuff. He's witty. Up and down, though, he's about. Man should have had win someone else. Now one day Brandon Bravo say, okay, we're gonna make it out. Say, oh, what's it, Bravo? That's the thing. I feel like the success or failure of Tim Kelly now becomes like a package deal with Vrabel. Like if that's your guy and it don't work out, like y'all both go. Yeah, if college football does actually drop, like I'm interested to see how it plays. I'm interested to see how it plays. Oh my God, bro. 3 people in the backfield. Got 3 of them back there. Somebody gotta make a tackle. Boy, hell no. Deep zone tail. I think a lot of people is interested to see how college football play this year.
Here we go, set! Go, set! Go, set! Ready? 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. 70 Lions.
Go down. That's what I thought too, Ken.
Ready? Cougar 19.
Let's get a start. Let's go get 6. Yo, he caught the ball and ran like 2-3 steps and dropped it. Oh my God, bro. Like this. That's crazy, man. Moss just caught it and took like 2-3 steps and dropped it, bro. I guess. My Moss just don't do it no more.
Let's go now.
Oh yeah, Arthur Juan got lost. Ravens Joe, what up? That's cause his user was supposed to take that and he got lost. All right, let's get a stop and end this. Bro, like my shit just lagged out. 87 and stuff. My shit just like. When I say lag, I mean, are we back to the point where you gotta like wait a few seconds before you kick the field goal? Like I'm kicking with an ability in this shit, like not stopping. The internet connection thing. Humble. Oh yeah. Yo, I got that X Factor on prayers like I was waiting on that shit. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Bro, I was waiting on that shit. Boy, he should have ran out of bounds when he seen that X Factor. Only thing about that is with that KO is like you have to have the KO on the right person. So it's like if somebody just caught you with the right person, then with the right person with the KO, then He kind of is with the RJ Street Bandit, Ravens joke. They fixed the kick ability at halftime. Yeah, it took a while. Yeah, cool. I mean, I ran to the sideline so he couldn't get out of bounds, like TBH. Put this goal line back in.
Got it. Ready? 60 Vices, 60 Vices. 7 Pirates, 7 Pirates.
Oh, first and goal. This is perfect. First and goal. This is perfect. First and goal. This is perfect.
Introducing primetime.
Best thing that happened is we could like
Now you can watch
get
the
stopped on the
movies
inch line and let the clock tick and then
from
score.
Showtime, Paramount Plus, Stars, AMC Plus, and more. Right on YouTube.
Okay, great.
Yo, Dylan P, Justin H, what up?
Ready?
Perfect. Is it Bon Georgie? Maxed out Grump. He said, "Clip the touchdown out of 87." Man, talk to me though, chat. Man, what y'all want to talk about today? I'm in the booth with it. I'm here as always.
I hear the cry for help buried deep inside of me.
If I killed the cuckoo, I get a pat on the head. My mom might go in there.
They had the right 17 8 sound, a whole lot different. Bro, I almost threw a pick right there. Like, I was looking at the tight end and threw the ball to Watt. That was weird.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger. Stop it all 18. Check smash, check smash. Come on, come on. Hey. Hurt, hurt. 79 Broncos.
Jaws was the vibes, my guy. Like, cause like what I'm thinking about doing is like either like daytime play my 007 GTA type games, nighttime Madden, or do Madden in the daytime and GTA type game at nighttime. Like, and sometimes switch it up, might throw like Apex or something in there, or just double down on Madden if it's like interesting at the time. But I'm not gonna just spam Madden content for just for the hell of it. He gonna run that play.
19 tight. 19 tight. Mustang 19.
Bro, where is that pick six from Dion? I literally was in a hard flash right there.
60 Eagles. 60 Eagles. 60 Bearcats. 60 Bearcats.
User is on every route right there. Y'all see that? Yeah, Tommy, what up? User was on every route right there. Good playing. Literally user every route. I was on the Texas. I was on the crossing route from the running back. I was on everything. It's fun to play other games and not like just be married to Madden, but you got to be confident in your content and your ability to create content if you are a content creator. But not feel like you just have to play Madden and that's all you can ever do. You know what I'm saying? You got to know that like that you have the confidence in your content that you can play anything you want. GG.
Before they had to type in everything again and copy it from the opportunity, adding it to the Excel files, to the order forms. Now everything is being populated automatically, so it means they have less manual work to do.
Well, I'm telling you, that Moss ain't the same, bro. That Moss is not the same. He don't be coming down with shit. Bro, that's horrible run stick by me. That's horrible run stick by me. That is horrible run stick by me. Horrible run stick, y'all. My bad. I apologize for that run stick. That was god awful. And what we talking about in the chat though, man, I hate being in here and we ain't got no conversations going. We slow down, we ain't got nothing to talk about. I'll be in here like, you know what I'm saying? What you want to eat? That's the type of vibes I get when the chat ain't talking. That's the vibes I get when the chat ain't talking. $22 points away. Look at it. Hey, Statman gonna keep us because he gonna keep us right. Statman is definitely gonna do his job. You had to hop in W and he got you. How the game went? Unlucky break, yeah. You just say, you know what I like to eat? Yo, library, man. It's Tuesday night. Tuesday is like one of them days, like kind of a weird day, right? Tuesday is kind of how you think Wednesday gonna be, but in reality, Wednesday kind of lit because like Wednesday ain't church night no more. I remember back in the day when you was a kid and like Wednesday was church night. That shit that funny, man. Man, Grunk out there. Hey, Grunk out there with the pancake. Grunk out there with the pancake. Grunk out there with the pancakes. He not playing, bro. Yeah, Tuesday kind of like everybody worn out for Monday, right? Then like MCS was yesterday, so like today is kind of like the layover day. And I seen W's thing talking about the next bot wars. Meeks probably know better than anybody though. Like Meeks, why do you think EA does not have W be part of the MCS? And he's got like one of the biggest voices on Twitch. See, because somebody said like, I really don't buy that because like, if you think about it, like when the MCS intro comes on, NW is your MCS. Like, bro, they literally say his name every time they go to that Madden field when they play that clip. It literally says like W's your Madden 17 champion. So it's kind of weird. Wednesday is Black People Prayer Meeting and Bible Study. Old black folks. He said taking a whole quarter to run it down. I really ain't even been paying attention to the game like that. I just been kind of doing my thing. Wait for Tom Brady to come. That Brady already out. Not care. They was using them in the MCS.
Let's go now. Go.
With YouTube Premium, you can watch your phone screen without your video stopping. Keep your audio going with background play. Try it on us.